Hoima district is host to more than 360 learning institutions, many of them government-aided. Thousands of learners are excited to return to school following the president's move to reopen the institutions for candidate classes amid strict health guidelines.
It has been bad because I have been missing studies.
Obabeni begesa already yao nyobunde program ezo nisangwa ndo musiri.
Some of the guidelines set out by the Ministry of Health for schools are compulsory wearing of masks and hand washing, setting up a committee to write a daily report to the district task force, a well-calibrated working temperature gun at each entrance, full-time personnel to do temperature screening, isolation room to accommodate suspected cases, a foot-operated washing facility with water provided at all times, at least 5 liters of liquid soap available at all times, all learners keeping social distance of 2 meters, and restricting community access among others. While government schools say they are relatively ready, many private schools aren't. But what will it be like to study during the pandemic with dozens of standard operating procedures put in place by the Ministry of Health to prevent the spread of the virus?
Even a parent himself or herself must lay a hand. We know government promised to give each of the candidates 2 masks, but sometimes government things delay.
Hoima district is very well prepared to reopen all the schools in the district, including private and government aided, because we have been sensitizing.
Mirios Ayesiga is a widow in Chabigambire Central 1 village. She is taking care of 13 children, many of them orphans. 3 of them are candidates due to resume school on the 15th of October. But Ayesiga is not sure she will be able to raise the fees.
P7, senior 4.
She's just one of the thousands of parents and guardians burdened by uncertainty.
It's true, parents don't have the money to support. But even when they don't have the money to support, they still remain with their cardinal role as parents and guardians to provide writing materials.
The picture is replicated in other districts like Kasese and Bundibujo. Parents are being selective about where they take their children. Not many have the standards that need a financial muscle. This is Burambagira Primary School in Bundibujo district that has a total enrollment of over 1,100 pupils and over 110 candidates. As the candidates resume on the 15th of this month, the school is faced with a unique challenge. Being one of the best performing in the district, many district parents who had their children studying in other districts are already applying to bring them here, which might overwhelm the school management.
We have to receive them, and that's why we are sitting as management. In fact, we had a joint meeting. We have a joint meeting today. That's why you are seeing all these members, such that we discuss all those and we see the way forward.
The financial situation facing schools and parents is just one of the many questions that NGOs, World Vision and Save the Children need answers to in a campaign dubbed Safe Reopening of Institutions of Learning.
The government has to take an initiative through Parliament and pass a supplementary budget which can address these needs, because this is an emergency which requires a very serious intervention of government. And it should not be only for these few months, because what is now coming out clearly is that the government is saying that we are going to facilitate them in order to reopen. But this requires a consistent program.
It has also been widely reported, although with no reliable figures, that cases of child pregnancy and violence have risen during the lockdown. Thus, the need for improving psychosocial services in schools and homes.
We have said all our staff, the learners are all psychologically traumatized. So we need equally psychosocial services and skills so that we are able to come back on the normal track for the timing that the schools will be running.
The other action that the NGOs are advocating for are safe transitioning of learners back to school, inclusive learning materials for all learners, especially the most vulnerable children, and strengthening psychosocial support for learners. Uganda has over 15 million learners. Approximately 600,000 of these are children attending schools in refugee settlements located in high-risk border districts. Many learners in Bunyoro and Rwenzori sub-regions missed out on home learning, and as schools partially reopen, experts warn if the transitioning back to school is not properly handled, it might worsen the already existing inequalities in access to education. Edward Mhumza, NTV.